Okay, show me your tits.
Welcome to Hypercut Chronicles.
For the 30th anniversary of its release, we'd love to talk about Showgirls and Paul Verhoeven. But I'm not entirely sure YouTube's robot overlords will let us. To protect the souls of the more sensitive viewers, and maybe dodge a bit of censorship, we should probably replace the most graphic shots with something everyone seems to love these days. Like Pedro Pascal, for instance. So, September 22nd, 1995, Paul Verhoeven's Showgirls hits theaters. We follow Nomi Malone, a young, ambitious woman who arrives in Las Vegas hoping to make it big as a dancer. From sleazy strip clubs to the grand hotels of the Strip, she discovers a ruthless world where any move is fair game if you want to climb to the top. At that time, Paul Verhoeven was that guy.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
What are you gonna do? Charge me with smoking?
Consider that a divorce.
After nearly 20 years of making TV series and films in his native Netherlands, he had gone full Hollywood and was hitting nothing but box office gold with films that would later become cult classics. Basic Instinct, his previous movie, was a worldwide sensation. 350 million at the box office, endless parodies, references, and a tidal wave of erotic thrillers that followed in its wake.
It's nice.
For Showgirls, Verhoeven teamed up again with Carolco Pictures and producer Mario Casar, along with screenwriter Joe Esterhaas, the highest-paid, most sought-after writer in Hollywood at the time. Esterhaas had already penned Flashdance, plus the erotic thrillers Sliver, Jade, and of course, Basic Instinct. Despite a famously heated working relationship on Basic Instinct, the two men shared a love for MGM's Golden Age musicals, so they decided to collaborate again. They even interviewed hundreds of Vegas strippers to weave their real-life stories into the script. That's commitment. The casting process for Nomi Malone was intense.
It was really hard to find somebody who could really act and who was prepared to take off her clothes and who could dance.
Elizabeth Berkley, who'd become a teen idol and Saved by the Bell, landed the role, hoping it would jumpstart her film career. Gina Gershon played Crystal Connors, the reigning star of the musical Goddess. Kyle MacLachlan, aka Agent Dale Cooper from Twin Peaks, donned the suit of Zach Carey, Crystal's boyfriend and head of casino entertainment. And Robert Davey, villain extraordinaire from James Bond, Predator and Die Hard, turned up as the sleazy boss of a rundown strip club. On set, Verhoeven enjoyed total creative freedom and a lavish $40 million budget. They shot in Las Vegas casinos and across Nevada, with dazzling sets, extravagant costumes, and choreography by Marguerite Derricks. Prince was even considered for the soundtrack before Dave Stewart from the Eurythmics ultimately took over. MGM agreed to release the movie in over 1,300 theaters under an NC-17 rating, the only film in history to ever attempt such a wide NC-17 release. Verhoeven even waived 70% of his $6 million salary, only getting the remainder if the film turned a profit. It didn't. The backlash was brutal. Even before release, the Vatican and church groups called for boycotts. Critics destroyed it. The New York Times, The Hollywood Reporter, Variety. Consensus was universal. Bad acting, bad writing, excessive nudity.
I don't think they have an attractive star. They don't do anything original in the screenplay at all. I didn't care for the film.
At the box office, after a solid opening at number 2 behind David Fincher's Seven, the film crashed the very next week, ending with just $20 million domestic. Part of the problem: timing. Vegas, in the mid-90s, was desperate to shed its image of vice and mobsters like Bugsy Siegel. The city was rebranding as a family-friendly tourist destination, with pirate shows, pyramids, mini Eiffel Towers. Like a symbol, right across the street, at the Landmark Hotel, Martin Scorsese was shooting his sleek crime epic Casino. Elizabeth Berkley's career never recovered. Critics were vicious.
She's hard around the face. I didn't think she was particularly appealing.
And she won 2 Razzie Awards for Worst Actress and Worst New Star. Carolco Pictures, once the powerhouse behind the Rambo franchise and Terminator 2, collapsed soon after. Showgirls was one nail in the coffin. Cutthroat Island was the final blow. With a colossal $100 million budget, the swashbuckling adventure epic starring Gina Davis and Matthew Modine turned into one of the biggest flops in cinema history, grossing only $16 million and ultimately forcing Carolco to declare bankruptcy. And yet, the story doesn't end there. Over time, Showgirls became a cult classic. Queer, feminist, and drag communities reclaimed the film as a biting critique of misogyny, female commodification, and power dynamics. By the early 2000s, NYC midnight screenings turned into drag performance events inspired by the movie. Its kitsch style, absurd dialogue, and unapologetic excess resonated in spaces that celebrated excess and transgression. Commercially, too, it lived a second life. The movie earned over $100 million in home video sales in the U.S. alone, becoming one of MGM's biggest VHS, DVD, Blu-ray hits. The critics got it wrong. Once again, Verhoeven was holding up a magnifying glass to America, and the reflection was harsh. The main characters were ruthless, willing to do anything to destroy their rivals and use others for their own gain. He ditched virtuous heroes for opportunists who cover for each other, even at their worst. On top of that, the story played out as a moral fable, with Las Vegas standing in as a metaphor for American hypocrisy. Because in the US, every value seems to have its price. That outsider's perspective, seeing America from the outside in, is part of what made people uncomfortable. Critics went in expecting an erotic movie, but Verhoeven gave them sex as a form of currency. And yet, the film tackled all of Verhoeven's classic themes: violence, sex, religion, the forces that rule the world. But all that nuance got lost in the controversy. Visually, too, the film is spectacular, shot by Jost Vacano, filled with vibrant colors and fluid camera movement. Arguably one of the most ambitious works in Verhoeven's entire filmography. The pattern repeated with his next film, Starship Troopers, another over-the-top social satire starring TV actors pushed into broad, intentionally exaggerated roles. Critics again panned it at release, failing to catch the political commentary. Only years later did it get re-evaluated.
Would you like to know more?
By the end of Showgirls, Nomi leaves Las Vegas for Hollywood. Verhoeven and Esterhaus had actually imagined a sequel that would unfold there, arguing that Hollywood horror stories made Vegas look tame. But Showgirls' failure killed that dream, unless, of course, you count Showgirls 2, Pennies from Heaven, a bizarre, unofficial spin-off, written, produced, directed by, and starring Rena Riffel.
I'm gonna be a star!
But no, we don't count that. Verhoeven's Hollywood career fizzled out. Showgirls, Starship Troopers, then the equally panned Hollow Man. He returned to Europe, making the excellent Black Book in the Netherlands, and later acclaimed French films Elle and Benedetta. Now, at 87, he's still trying to finance his next project, an erotic thriller set in Washington, written by Edward Neumeier, the screenwriter of RoboCop. Only time will tell if it ever leaves development hell. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You'll find links below if you'd like to purchase the films we talked about. We really appreciate your support, and we'll see you in 2 weeks for another episode of Hypercut Chronicles.